Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican queen, Miss Y. You are tuned into How I See It TV, and this is Why Caught Alive. Please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like the content needs some more crowd, subscribe if you have not done so as yet, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, at How I See It. And on TikTok, you can follow me at How I See It TV. And speaking of TikTok, I hope that y'all are getting ready for Melody Cherie's TikTok live today. Um, wrong one. That was the last TikTok live. Hope y'all are getting ready for Melody Cherie's TikTok live today at 2:30, 10:30. Well, from 2:30 to 10:30 Central Standard Time, which means that while Carlos King is over there on the O Network, next to Stormy doing a recap of God knows what, half the people will be over there on TikTok supporting Melody. So we know them ratings tonight over there on OWN. It was already gonna be trash because I was getting ready to be over there on Patreon with Tay being entertained. Okay, I was getting ready to be over there with Tay and Black Women Are in the Building and Brown Skin Girl. I was ready to be over there with them cutting up in their live because I was not about to watch that, even if it wasn't Stormy. Like, I know people are gonna say, "Oh, it's because it's Stormy." No. Even if it wasn't Stormy, I would still not be watching that live on OWN to give Carlos the numbers. It's not a Stormy thing. It's a Carlos King thing for the haters who are gonna be like, "Oh." But thankfully, Melody came through, and in my mind, it's like, I don't have to watch that mess. Cause I'm gonna be over there on TikTok. And then if Tay and the other ladies, if they still go live on Patreon, I will have to catch their replay. So let's get ready, y'all. Let's start doing our finger push-ups so we can get some of those $5 bags. Because I tried last time and I did not get any of those $5 bags. I did not get any of the prizes. But this time, y'all, your girl is ready. Okay, I am ready. All right. So good morning. Rabbits running, all the tea in China. Hey girl. To Latrice, Dana, hi, Tia P, IPV. Thank y'all for being in the yard with me. So I know y'all saw the thumbnail. Tasha K exposes Martel. And y'all might be thinking, if you watched Tasha K's live last night where she caught herself trying to expose something about Melody, y'all might be thinking, well, how did she expose Martel? How did she expose Martel? Well, here's how she exposed Martel. She exposed something that we already know, that Martel is out here manipulating, lying, stalking, and using third parties to harass Melody Cherie. Remember a few days ago, I explained to y'all what third party harassment is and how Martel can actually land himself in jail using third parties to harass Melody. And that includes asking people to post certain things about her, even if it's a dog whistle post. Because let's be for real. If you follow Arion on Instagram and you saw her post those wedding pictures, honestly, if you weren't paying close enough attention, would you have known that that was Jason? You probably wouldn't. And because it was posted so quickly and taken down, a lot of people missed it. So that's a dog whistle post. That post was for, because you know what a dog whistle is? It's language or behavior that's directed at a certain demographic where only them will understand, what is being said. So it was absolutely harassment. So here goes Tasha K in trying to expose Melody, revealing that it was Martel who hit her up and gave her the information. And like the dummy that she is, instead of saying, well, thank you for the tea, because let's be clear, Tasha K is a content creator, just like most of us over here on YouTube. So if she gets some tea, what is she going to do? Like most of us as content creators, we are going to report on it. But the thing is, a few of us on this side of the fence, we have integrity. So even if somebody sends us something about 11 March Huntsville cast member that we don't see it for, we are going to fact check before we just come out talking out the side of our necks. At least that's how I operate. But here goes Tasha K revealing Martel hit her up and said to her, I think there's something that you need to know. Why would he believe that Tasha K needed to know this? Why does Tasha K need to know anything? Why? Because Martel needed for somebody to post the information after the judge already told his peaches that he can't substantiate anything, any of the allegations that he made about Melody supposedly being with the bodyguard. The judge told him, get away from us with that. We're striking that from the record. It's untruth. You have no proof of this. So Martel decided, well, since the court of law told me that they're not going to do anything with the information, let me bring it to the court of public opinion. And the only blogger that he knows well enough to just go and speak about anything and everything without fact checking it, the only blogger he knows with a big enough platform is Tasha K. Because, see, he didn't just want this information to be in the Love and Marriage Huntsville sector. Because if that was the case, there are plenty mellow haters over here on YouTube that he could have sent the information to. But he understands that Tasha K don't only have the Love and Marriage Huntsville fans. Their eyes are not the only ones that are on Tasha K's page. You have people from all walks of life who, for whatever reason, are fans of Tasha K. They may know of the Martel and Melody story, and so They're not following anything that's happening in the Love and Marriage Huntsville sector outside of maybe clips from the show posted on Instagram. They don't know anything else. So here goes Tasha K posting to how many followers does Tasha K have over there on Instagram? I don't even know. But let's just say 500,000. I think it's more than that. Here she goes posting, oh, the court says that, Melody is messing around with a married man. And here are some stills that prove that Melody is messing around with a married man. And what are these people going to do? Because they don't know better, unfortunately. And I'm talking about the people who are not following Love and Marriage Huntsville. We can't blame these people for believing Tasha K because they don't know any better. They don't. And that's what Martel wants. He wants to sway the court of public opinion because the court of law saw through his BS. And all Tasha K proved is the lengths that this man is willing to go to bring Melody down to his level. So he's going to reach out to Tasha K and say, I think that there is something that you need to know. I'm going to send you some information. And he sends her a one-sided court document. That's manipulation. Because he didn't send her Melody's motion to strike. And he didn't send Tasha K the judge's ruling that certain things that he put in his motion will not be entertained by the courts. And then Tasha K wants to say, Melody isn't innocent. I don't care what anybody has to say. She's not innocent. Whoever said Melody is innocent? I think that's a common misconception that people have about Melody's fan base, that we just think she is perfect, that she does absolutely no wrong. That's not our stance. At least that's not my stance, because nobody is perfect. My stance is, when it comes to Melody and Martel, it's not equal. Melody is not equally wrong. She's not equally wrong in the demise of that marriage. She's not equally wrong when it comes to them having to be in family court. She is not equally wrong in anything that's happening on social media. So that's why I can be on her side. Because in my opinion, 99% of the blame lies on the side of Martel Holmes. Again, because nobody is perfect, right? It's okay. I'm going to give Melody her little 1%. But majority of the blame is on Martel. He had no reason to drag her through family court talking about he wanted full custody of those kids. No reason. He himself has said that in hindsight, when he thinks about all the things that he was complaining about in that marriage, if he could do things over, he would have realized that that was nothing for him to be complaining about. And he should have kept himself in his household. He said that. Did Martel or send Tasha K the text message that he sent to Melody on October 3rd of this year? No, because it's all about manipulation. He wants to sway the court of public opinion, and Tasha K exposed that. He feels like if he can destroy Melody's credibility in the public, then he might get a few people on his side. Because I've seen some people on Natasha K's post talking about, well, Martel has been exposing for a long time that Melody messes around with married men. And I'm like, wait, what? Where y'all getting this information from? Information that has been debunked several times over. Now here goes Tasha K saying, well, Martel sent me this information and said, he thinks there's something that I need to know because Melody, there's this man that Melody has around her claiming that it's her bodyguard. And she asked Martel, when did Melody get a bodyguard? Or when since Melody as a bodyguard. And she said Martel told her never. He blatantly lies to Tasha K, telling her that Melody has never had a bodyguard. Now, if Tasha K had any integrity, she would have gone and she would have done a cute little clean sweep of Melody's social media. And she would have realized that Melody has had a bodyguard for about 3 years now. For about 3 years now, Melody has had a bodyguard. And in my opinion, the 3 years coincides with that time Martel went to the Behind Every Man set and acted a plumb fool, destroying them people's equipment. And Melody, realized that she's not safe and she can't be walking around out here with no protection when both of them live in Huntsville and he can pull up on her anytime and he's unhinged. So if Tasha K had gone to Melody's social media, she'd have seen that Melody has had bodyguards now for about 3 years, probably even before that. But from what we know, it's been about 3 years. If Tasha K had gone to Melody Cherie's Instagram, she'd have seen Melody Cherie in her yard playing with her kids and two bodyguards keeping watch. Tasha K would have realized that Jason is not Melody's only bodyguard and that these men work in shifts. But you see, it's Martel's manipulation. He finds the people who Melody has dismissed. He finds the people who feel rejected by Melody. And he uses their hate for her. He uses their resentment towards her. He uses their dislike for her to his advantage. Because you can resent somebody so much and dislike somebody so much for the pettiest of reasons that when somebody else comes to you and say, oh my God, I hate her too, and they start saying a whole bunch of things, negative things about the person, your hate will not allow you to listen and be reasonable and be logical and be critical in your thinking when it comes to what they're telling you. And this is what's happening when it comes to Tasha K. Melody dismissed her. Melody rejected her. And so now it doesn't matter how much truth is out there. Tasha K is going to choose to believe the lies because how dare Melody reject me? How dare you, Melody, tell me that I have your manager's number and that's who I should call if I need to get in contact with you? No, I need to have your personal number. I need to have direct contact with you because I am Tasha K. How dare you not respond to me asking you about whether or not you're separated or getting a divorce from Martel? You owe it to me to tell me your business. How dare you not give me any tea about the cast members on the show or not give me any tea about Martel? How dare you, Melody? And that is what is fueling Tasha K's dislike for Melody, not anything else. There is no way Tasha K truly believes that Melody is equally at fault in everything that's happening between her and Martel. There's no way you can think that if you're actually examining the facts. People like to say, oh, Melody keeps bringing him back to court. No, they went to court once. The judge handed down some rulings, said Martel needs to go and take a psychological evaluation and stop stop with the corporal punishment when it comes to the children. Stop trying to wash these children's mouth out with soap and hot sauce when he's not getting whatever information he wants from them. And he chose not to listen. And Melody filed a motion, an emergency motion. And all Melody said in that emergency motion is that she's asking the court to force this man to go and take that psychological evaluation because he is still behaving in an unhinged manner out here. The school is saying it. The guardian ad litem is saying it. The kids are saying it to the guardian, not to their mama, to the guardian. The guardian reports directly to the courts, not to Melody, not to Martel, to the courts. And that report is available through lawyers to both parents. So if I'm a mother and I am reading through the guardian's report and I'm seeing that my children are still very much afraid, they're still experiencing certain things at the hands of their father that the court told him not to do anymore, then absolutely I'm going to file an emergency motion because I'm not dealing with this man. I'm not calling him up telling him don't do this, don't do that. And I had to file a report against him for harassing me and threatening me with revenge P. Yeah, goddamn Skippy. I'm not calling him to talk to him one on one. Let me allow the courts to deal with him. And that's how that emergency filing was done and why it was done. But if you're not following the story, you just feel like Melody just got up one day and told her lawyers, I want to take him back to court. And that is the same case that's happening still. And Martel has still not done that psychological evaluation to date. It's been 2 years. Why is Tasha K not talking about that? Why? Because her resentment towards Melody would have her side with Martel than side with Melody, who is in the right. Her disdain for Melody would have her drag an innocent woman, and innocent meaning that this lady has nothing to do with anything that's happening between Martel and Melody. This woman's probably not even still married to Jason. Jason, even if he's married, is probably one of the most faithful men out there. And now he and his wife are being dragged in some mess simply because Martel lost when it came to him filing that motion in the courts. Because guess what? If the judges had accepted his filing, if the judge had accepted the filing, the motion, he would be excited. He wouldn't be out here sending half of the information to a blogger. He'll be over the moon. But because he lost in the court of law, he needed a win in the court of public opinion. But once again, the facts are on Melody's side. People who went to the Carlos King podcast event in Huntsville, they saw 3 bodyguards there with Melody. 3 bodyguards. Those of us who went to Mimosas with Melody in Atlanta, we saw 3 bodyguards. Those of us who went to Mimosas with Melody in Huntsville, we saw 3 bodyguards, not just Jason. Maybe it's the fact that Jason travels with her more. That's Melody's prerogative. But he's not the only bodyguard that travels with her. When I went to see Melody in Manatee County, Florida, a few months ago, she had 2 bodyguards with her. Jason being one of them. And if Tasha K had just done quick research, she would have known that it wasn't just yesterday that Melody started having bodyguards. But I'm always happy when somebody comes out publicly to say some foolishness that can be debunked. I'm happy when low key all this proves in the court of public opinion is that Martel is unhinged and he is willing to do anything to get a win, including reaching out to a blogger like Tasha K to use her to spread lies about his ex-wife because he doesn't want to be the only cheater in the situation. Sir, y'all have been divorced for how long? Who cares at this point in time? Your disrespect was loud. The disrespect met out to Melody by your side piece, now called girlfriend, now baby mama, whatever she is, was absolutely loud. And you're just mad that at this point in your life, you cannot benefit from Melody's star being on the rise. That's what the real problem is. Narcissists, they hate to lose, child. They hate to lose. And the more they lose is the more unhinged and dangerous they become. And I feel like that's what we're seeing right now when it comes to Martel. He is spiraling because he continues to face a loss after loss after loss. He lost his family because of his behavior. He's losing money because of his behavior. He could have had a friendship with Melody at this point in time, but he lost that because of his behavior. He's losing in the courts because of his behavior. Nothing was stopping him from going to take that psychological evaluation and proving that he is a stable, fit person. But he can't do it because he knows something wrong with him. He lost in criminal court because, hey, he did harass her. He did threaten to release Revenge P. And now he's appealing and he's about to lose that appeal again. Because when they call people to the stand, and people cannot lie under oath, and people have to admit that he has shown them things that he should not have, this appeal might land him straight under the prison. Not even in it, child, under it, under the jail. And it's crazy to me. It's absolutely mind boggling how these people cannot separate whatever dislike it is that they have for Melody. They can't separate that from the facts that is lined up in front of them. And Tasha K is talking about how Melody was using Jason to make Martel jealous or whatever. And I'm like, girl, only dummies feel like Melody wants Martel back. Only idiots would believe that at this point in Melody's life, she wants Martel back. Now, I don't know how Melody thinks. I don't know where her emotions stand because I don't know her like that. We're not having those types of conversations. Melody's not my BFF. She's not my sister. She's not my cousin. She's not my auntie. I don't know that lady like that. But I would think that at this point in her life, at the level that she is, with everything that has transpired, everything that this man has done to her, I don't think there is any small part of Melody that would want to ever get back with him. Because sometimes the damage, the damage done is just, it's just so much that there's no way that you can even pick up the pieces. You know, sometimes a ceramic, it might fall to the ground and you can hot glue it together and you're still going to see the cracks, but it's not so. You can probably turn it to the side. And so if somebody walks in your house, they're not going to see the cracked part. This is not that. This is a glass that has been shattered into a million pieces. And all you can do is sweep it up and put it in the garbage. That's where Martel and Melody is at. That's where Melody is at. She's at the point where any feelings she could have possibly had for this man, even if it's just friendship, that's all shattered. It's done. She's not bothering Martel. It's obviously the other way around. Melody's not out here sending court documents to anybody. She's not trying to prove to anybody that Martel is doing anything, because he's out here showing the world that he's the one that's bothering her. Again, why are you texting her in October when there is a no contact order in place, and what are you sorry for? If you're so happy with your new woman and you're rich and you're busy, what are you still sorry for unless you know that you're absolutely out here doing wrong? Is that why you're sorry, Marta? Because you know you are wrong and everything you've done, everything that you're doing, and everything that you're planning to do, you know it's wrong. You knew the minute you sent Tasha K that information because you wanted to sway the courts of public opinion. You knew that you were doing something wrong. You knew that Jason and his wife or ex-wife didn't even deserve that. Tasha K, you have the resources to have hired a PI to find out if Jason was actually married. Based on your life, you don't even know if Jason's actually still married. At this point, nobody knows, which means that this is information that you shouldn't have discussed. If you weren't willing to pay a few coins to go find out if that man was still married, which means that if he's not married, who cares what Melody is doing with him? And I will die on this hill. Melody would never. And I know that there are some people who feel like, y'all don't know Melody, so how do you know what she would or wouldn't do? I don't know. Maybe it's just when you look at somebody and how they move generally, and when you think about everything that they've been through, you can make the assessment that, yeah, I don't think that lady is the type that would ever be somebody's side piece. She values herself too much. Melody values her brand too much. I could be wrong, but Melody does not give side chick energy. Okay? She does not give, I'm willing to share any man. But I just that's just me. It's just me. Oh, let me see what y'all are saying. Ooh, I was here ranting for 36 minutes. I have not looked at the chat. Now let me see what y'all saying. Would anybody like to come up? I haven't done this in a while. Let me drop the link. If y'all want to come up, y'all can do that. Um, let me see. Okay. And it's only if y'all want to. No pressure whatsoever. Okay, so I'm putting the link. Putting the link down there. I already did my rant. So let me read. Let me see, did it post? Going down. Okay, somebody tell me if this link is blue on y'all side. Sometimes I don't be knowing. I've only done this like twice. So if y'all want to come up and add your 2 cents and tell the world how you see it, if y'all didn't see Tasha K's live last night, or if you did, come share your feelings. Cause child, she exposed Martel. She exposed his stalking. She exposed his harassment. She exposed how much he is willing to do to paint Melody as the villain when he's the one that's the real villain in the story. Um, where are the comments? Let me go down. Um, Hi Soul Sister, follow me Black TV. Good morning. Toot says she believes the kids saying what they saw, but not that he hurt the kids. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Ooh, Toot is here. Add you to the stage, Toot. Good morning,
Hey,
Toot.
good morning, and happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
I never saw you drop the link before, so I just had to come up.
This is literally my second time doing
Yes,
it.
that is so cool. And listen, I was in the Lions Den last night, for real, for real. And first I had to wait through after paying the little $12.99 or however much she's charging. I had
Hmm.
to wait a whole hour of listening to her go over stuff that has
Before she
already been
opened the
played
chat,
out.
yeah.
And I mean, she talked about she talked about Safari, something that we've already seen. She showed his
Mhm.
video. She talked about the interview with the OnlyFans model that was talking about Gucci Mane. And if you all go look on her page and see the thumbnail, you'll know who I'm talking about. That was
Mhm.
like 30 minutes. Then Safari was like 30 minutes. And then she spoke about
Jumped into
Diddy.
the
That seemed like it seemed
took
like it was like
forever.
30 minutes. And then finally, when she got to Melody, I find it interesting that the first thing she does is spew out all the negative stuff. I don't like her. I know Melody doesn't like me. I know da 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 da. And I'm sure she talks bad about me and I don't care. And I'm in the chat and I'm like, Tasha, she's
Mother
never
don't
said
even
anything
talk
about
about
you.
you.
She's never said anything about you. So, but this was her buildup. This was her, okay, now I need to get you all on my side with
Yeah.
how she feels about me. So when I do this, you all will believe
It
it.
makes
So,
sense. It makes sense to y'all why I'm going at her so hard because
right.
this is my proof that she's talking bad about me. She doesn't like me. So now I can say and do whatever to her.
Yes. Yes. And like literally, I think the only time we ever saw her say anything about Tasha K is when she pulled out that red phone and read a text message. It was sometime after the RP plot
Yeah,
came
I
out.
remember
Yeah.
it. All she did was just share how Tasha K had sent her how Martel was the one who set up that interview. That was it. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. And actually, it's good information to have, especially when you're in male space. But
Mm-hmm.
y'all, this is the thing. When she first showed the first still shot of them in LA in the SUV, she says where she's going with her bodyguard, riding shot. She's driving and he's riding shotgun. Who does that? Oh my God, this was just on her reel. Are you really doing this, Tasha? Are you really saying that this woman was driving and the bodyguard was shotgun when they had a whole driver and two or three other more people in the vehicle with them? And
And so this is what I mean to by court of public opinion, because the people
right.
in Tasha K's live that never saw that reel don't really know what's happening with Melody. What are they gonna do? They're absolutely gonna believe that the still that Tasha K showed them was Melody driving and the bodyguard in the passenger seat. It's crazy
I
to me.
It's crazy to me too because then she questions about when she was rubbing him, doing the little exfoliation thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She showed that picture. She didn't show the court documents, y'all. She also showed the little after that 3-day TikTok when they all, the second time. Was it a 3-day the second time? When they had
Yeah,
the school.
the school of the Seventh Avenue School of
Right.
Beauty.
Then she said, why is he graduating from a beauty school? Why does a bodyguard needs to graduate from a beauty school? And then when she put the wife's information out and showed the wife information, that was bad to me. One, that woman is not a public entity. She said it herself that she's private. Her information is private. She
Her
owns a
Instagram is
business.
private, all of
Yes,
that.
she owns a business. And but this is her information. So now she want people to go out and try
And bother this woman.
and bother this woman. And then she says, y'all, which just totally got me. Oh my God, are these millimeters in here? Are these millimeters in here? Yep, we're in there. Yep, 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 we were in there. Then she states, well, when I get an interview with the with the wife, we'll see what you all have to say then. Not I have one coming, not I've already bagged the interview, but when I get an interview. So she hadn't even talked to the wife.
And I'm saying Tasha K's platform, right? Tasha K's
Mhm.
platform is big enough. I feel like Tasha K is making enough money where if she actually wants to fact check, she can do that. I am a smaller content creator in comparison to Tasha K. And I'm out here reaching out to different people trying to get statements because I don't just want to. I'll tell y'all this. Y'all know I don't see it for the Scots.
Right.
But I didn't just want to be on my platform saying they're scamming, they're scamming, they're scamming, they're scamming. When I don't know that for a fact. I don't know what the arrangements were. I don't know, what, contractual obligations the promoters had. Like, I don't know. And I hear people talking, when it comes to some of the things that were being said, like it makes sense. But I'm still not going to be on my platform saying it because that's just not how I operate. So I even reached out to the Lux Life hospitality group
Okay.
asking them for a statement like, okay, this is what's being said. There's some discrepancies when it comes to ticket sales and the event supposedly being, free. Like, my message to them was very professional. Haven't
Right.
gotten a response, but I feel like if you are at the level of a Tasha K, that's just a small thing that you can do, and you have assistance.
You know what I see? She used to be that way. Cause I remember watching Tasha K throughout the whole thing dealing with R. Kelly situation. And she
Hmm.
did bring some receipts and some interviews and some other things. And I believed her with that interview with her deep dive into R. Kelly.
Yeah.
But something After this whole Cardi B
Cardi
thing,
B thing, yeah.
she lost it. I think she lost it. And she lost her credibility to me. So
But you
now
would
it's
think she would
easier
be
to
more
bring
careful
interviews.
now. After being sued so many times and losing in such a huge way to to Cardi B, you would think that she would become a little bit more careful in how she puts certain things out there. The attorney that I'm gonna have on my platform in maybe a few days, we talked about how saying allegedly, which is why I try to kind of like clean up how I do things. Saying allegedly, and in my opinion, it can only protect you so far. And a lot
That's
of us,
true.
and we're gonna, and I'm gonna make sure that we discuss this when he comes on my channel, for my content creator friends to understand that not because we're saying allegedly means that we are protected. And this is coming from a lawyer.
You know,
Because when you say allegedly, and then you
uh-huh.
continue to say 20 more things after that, and it sounds like those 20 things sound like the facts, then there is a gray area there which somebody could use to sue you. And sometimes a lawsuit is not about the money. Taylor Swift sued somebody for $1.
I
It's about dragging the other person through the court system and crippling you financially. And when you're dealing with somebody who's a millionaire and you don't even have close to a million, and you got to be out here paying lawyers, even if they know they're going to lose the case, you're still crippled financially,
right,
you know?
right, right. And you know what I found interesting is that when she did the interview with Martell,
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of tell that she was doing her bait thing. And especially when she was talking about the kids and the discipline of the children of the kid.
Yeah.
And I'm reminding her in her own chat, well, one, when she was like, well, why does she need a bodyguard? Because you doxed her on your platform. But she didn't read that comment. And then when I talked about the abuse of the kids, Tawana, he did not abuse her kids. He did not abuse her kids, his kids. That is a lie. How when the
And
poor kid head was burst open with a back scratcher,
And he
and
said it. He
and
even
he
said it on
said
her
it
own platform. And she was like, "But who's counting?" So how do you know
exactly.
that you gave him 25 licks if you weren't counting? Like that's a very specific number.
It is, and I was just like I was sitting there amazed because y'all, fame is a hell of a thing because I don't understand that the people who are trying to infiltrate and to bring down, all it takes is one blogger, one person to give someone a platform that
Mm-hmm.
can destroy another person. Well, in this case, a whole nother family. And this is not right
Ooh, the
to me
people
for
are
some
cutting the
reason.
grass near me now. Why? Sorry.
Yeah. And I don't understand that. And I see oh good old Bobo Anderson in the chat, who's always in everyone's chat trolling, especially the women's chats. And this is
I'm convinced that that's him.
it is. And Martell,
I'm
why
convinced
Martell, can
that's
you
him.
answer this to us? And I know this may
Okay.
be a little, just a little invasive, but was you Melody's first? Because that's the only way that I can see that Bobo or Martell can act this way towards her, knowing that who he with already had a baby and it had been run through. Yet the woman that you married, you seem to be stuck on and who she's having in her bed. And this is weird to me.
It's weird. It's
It,
it's all weird.
it's weird. And I thought I just really thought, because I'm not even gonna lie, girl. When Tasha started, I was like, oh Lord, y'all, here we go. Let's see these receipts. I just knew that she was gonna show some receipts or something in the house, that she was gonna show the I love you
Text
to
messages.
text messages. You know what I'm saying? I just knew she was gonna show something like that.
I
And
thought
she,
I thought somebody done caught Melody down there in Huntsville and
right.
compromising position out there on a date or something. I thought she like I don't even know why I was giving Tasha the benefit of the doubt because at this point in time, and it wasn't even the benefit of the doubt, really. It was more so, well, maybe this time she possibly
Yeah,
has a smoking gun, but I knew better. I knew
right.
Martel was attached to it in some way, shape, or form. And she
I
just
mean,
proved it.
she
And
does. And Bobo, when have you seen Melody post anything about sloppy slaw? When has she posted anything about sloppy slaw? When has she posted anything about her ex-husband? I mean, when
the
people
last
keep
time
saying she needs to
Melody
leave him alone, how to show us and tell us how she needs to leave him. Her living her life is
is
leaving
her
him
leaving him
alone.
alone.
But
And the
he
last
can't.
time Melody even mentioned coleslaw was because somebody was bothering her kid's phone.
Right,
That's literally the only reason why that, a mention of that. Because who is this person texting my child's phone some mess about me? She had every right as a parent to air that mess out.
right. And
And that was literally the last time. And it wasn't
what I
even about coleslaw per se. It was
it
about the
wasn't
person who was messaging the baby's phone.
because someone had the phone. Coleslaw had the phone at one point that was given to her. And you know what? You know what I see?
Mhm.
I think as long as this show is on, that there won't be any peace for those children or for Mel or even for Martell for that sake. Now, maybe if Martell isn't on the show, then people can finally move on because now he's no longer a Z-list celebrity. He'll be a no one and he'll quickly fade into the background. But I just really truly have a problem with someone who is determined, regardless of what she's doing with her twizard. I just have a problem with someone when you know you're not bringing in any income even close to what she's bringing in, that is allowing her to take care of the four children that he likes to claim when it's convenient,
Convenient.
and you're trying to mess up her bag and you're trying to ruin her reputation, all
Because he
because
wants
of
to,
his four.
he knows he
Yeah,
cannot win in the court of law. So he's grasping at straws right now because if he can win the court of public opinion, he feels like that's really what matters. In the court of opinion, he is the villain. In the court of opinion, Ariane is the villain. In the court of opinion, majority of the people are on Melody's side.
right.
And so
And
he already knows he can't win in the court of law. It's getting obvious every time, a motion is read, every time something happens in court, it's getting more and more evident that he is losing. And because he knows this, his only way forward at this point in time is to try and get even half of the public on his side.
right,
But it's not going to
right,
work because you got content creators like me who can say to Tasha, girl, Melody Ben had a bodyguard. Why'd you allow Martell to make you look so dumb? Telling you that Mel has never had a bodyguard.
right,
That
right.
was a
And so, sister,
simple,
yeah,
simple research. Simple research. She would have known that Melody Ben had bodyguards.
she would have known that. It was on the first episode, season 8, episode 1. They were doing a whole walkthrough of her property. I
It's
mean,
crazy.
do they think only because that one physical person is there that she doesn't have? This is a whole black owned security company. And now you're even tarnishing the security. You know what I'm saying? You're even tarnishing the reputation of the
Yeah.
security company, low key. And I want to say, Soul Sister said that he's spiraling out and have nothing to lose. This is scary as hell. It was scary when I heard at the tea. Hi, see, you remember at the tea house when they had that sit down,
Yes.
and it's kind of, I kind of say the second half. Hey, Braylon, the second half of their conversation when he was saying, I didn't know it was gonna do. We were gonna be like this. That we would end up this way, I don't know how much more
And
I
he
can
just
take.
wants it to end. But
Yes,
you
because he
started it.
he doesn't know how much more he can take. I knew then that he was about to go full force ahead because when he said that, he was letting us know. So what do you think about him saying I'm sorry a million times after the court ruling came down to dismiss and to strike those
Hmm.
comments about the bodyguard? What do you feel about that when he said I'm sorry a million times?
How I feel about it is that's scary to me because it's like, is that a threat? Because you can read it however you want. Like it's open to interpretation. If it's somebody that you're scared of, then you could interpret it as he's about to do something, you know,
Right.
or if it's just I don't know. I'm interpreting it as he is still trying to break down the walls that Melody has built up against him. She doesn't want anything to do with him. And he feels like if he apologizes more, if he, I don't know what else he could do, he feels like like Melody would probably crack the window a little bit. Because he probably
Mm.
felt like she would have responded to that text message. And obviously she didn't. And I hope the first thing Melody did was, let me send this to my lawyer right away because why is this man contacting me?
I think she did too because her lawyer, the lawyer that she has in Birmingham, she's known. That's one of her specialties is to
Hmm.
work with cases like Bobo/Martel. Um,
Yes.
yeah, that dealing with extreme cases. So
Hmm.
hopefully she knows. Well, we've already seen how she knows how to come right back at him. To shut things down. Excuse me. Excuse me, to
It's
shut
okay.
things down. I sloppy slow.
Hmm.
What's up with this girl? What's up with this girl that if she once she took the man with her eyes closed?
Her eyes
w-
are now opened and she realized that she was not taking a prize. But
I mean,
it's hard for her to take the L. Have you ever seen this video of this little baby who was asking her mama for an apple, but it was a tomato? And the
no.
mom kept saying, it's a tomato, you're not gonna like it. But she was like, apple, I want it. So the mom just gave her the apple, the tomato, and she bit into it and she realized that it wasn't an apple. And you could
Uh-huh.
see it on her face that she was disgusted. But that baby said, I'm still gonna chew this. I'm still going to pretend that I'm enjoying this because mama told me it wasn't an apple, and I can't make my mama say, I told you so. And Ariane is that baby right now, chewing on a tomato because she thought it was an apple. And she is disgusted by the taste, but she cannot let us know that she is disgusted by the taste. She's gonna chew it and she's gonna swallow it and she's gonna take another bite with her face made up.
And I ain't even gonna lie, I bet she be sitting up here thinking about all the other eggplants that she had that was
She
better
could have
too.
had. Girl wasted her entire 20s and wasting all her 30s on this man.
She does, and I didn't know, y'all. I am just so out of it because I've never used a filter before. I am so outdone of how different she looked, even on that little TikTok live, compared to the photos that was put out this weekend with her at the polo. I mean, last weekend. I don't get it, y'all. She doesn't. She's not. I mean, she's okay, but
She
she's
looks,
definitely
she
not
looks,
a
she looks okay.
Jocelyn,
Oh, these people keep
Bernice.
talking to the people are going by my house with their lawnmower. 1 second. You keep
Oh,
talking.
okay. Okay, she doesn't look like a Bernice or even what's the one now that broke up Kurt and Rashida's home?
What's her
That
name?
one.
Jasmine Blue.
Yeah, the yes, her, the exotic dancer. She doesn't even exudes anything like that. And
And
I
even
just,
with
hey,
Jasmine,
DG,
and even with
huh?
Jasmine Blue,
Jasmine.
she's pretty quiet
She
on
was.
social media. Even through
Yeah.
all of this scandal, I can give it to her. Like, she knew that man was married. She probably believed all the Kool-Aid that he was giving her to drink, because we saw the text message. Jasmine absolutely believed she was drinking Kirk's Kool-Aid, thinking that he was going to take care of her. He was going to leave his wife, all of that. And it happens. Women get dumb out here when it comes to wanting to be picked. you know a lot of
Yes.
women, they want to be picked so badly that they will spend years and years and years messing around with a man they know is taken, because in the end they want to prove that I took him with my eyes closed.
Right.
That's all
Right.
it's about. But even so, Jasmine, for the most part, was very quiet. Even
She
in how
was.
she approaches Rashida on the show, she is still somewhat very respectful
She is.
of Rashida when you see her and Rashida interact. Those three times I've seen her and Rashida interact. There was one season they went on ranch this ranch trip or something, and
Hmm.
she showed up and Rashida wasn't having it, but the girl was still very calm, cool, collected, didn't disrespect Rashida. Her her attitude was more so towards the other women in the room that were coming at her on behalf of Rashida. And then
Right.
these for this season, the two times that her and Rashida have been in the same space, she's been very respectful. We can't say that for Coleslaw. She don't stop yapping her mouth on social media.
And that
And
and
she
that
gets
was her problem.
grimy with it.
Yes. And I'm with Kimberly. That's what it is, Kimberly. She looks funny. There's something funny looking about her. That
Ooh,
that
where's
the
Kimberly's
filters.
comment? Oh, I see it.
Yeah. It is something funny because her teeth at the bottom is goes up and down, and the braces, her facial. I mean, I'm not trying to down the girl, but it's just not what I was used to seeing presented to us all these years with her
But
behind
you
the
know why
filter.
it's easy to clown her? It's easy to clown her because she really thinks that she is um she is like supermodel standard of beauty. That's how, and it's okay to be that confident in yourself, but she does it in a way to downplay Melody's beauty. And I think that is why people clown her so much, because you're out here saying Melody's body isn't as banging as yours. But we've seen Melody. A lot of us have seen Melody in person. That lady's body is snatched. Okay?
Right,
She wants to say, I guess because her hair is a little bit longer or whatever, she likes to clown women who wear wigs and what. My hair is very thick and very natural. And let me tell you, I'm gonna put on a curly wig. I'm gonna
what
put
you said,
on
the
a,
heartbeat.
a curly wig if I can, because I don't have the time to be in here in the mornings combing through my thick
Right,
hair. It's not long, but it's super thick.
right,
I don't have the time. So I'm gonna have my mother-in-law do some straight backs, and I'm gonna buy me a curly wig, and I'm gonna prop it on my head every morning. I'm gonna go on my way to work if I
right.
can put some braids in there. So these are the things that she does, which is why people continue to clown her. She talks about Melody's body, but from what we see, her body isn't banging. Melody's
No,
body is banging on the TV, on Instagram, and in real life. She
right.
wants to say Melody isn't, doesn't have a beautiful face. We have seen Melody, a lot of us. If you've been to Mimosas, you have seen Melody in person.
Oh
That
my God.
lady is absolutely stunning in person. Like how she looks on the television screen is actually how she looks in real life. Melody can go without a filter if she chooses.
Right.
And she is going to look very much the same as when she's on TV.
Can I ask you your opinion on something? Not to
Mhm.
go away from this situation,
Yeah,
but
sure.
when you said how Melody looks, do Stormy looks like she has slanted her eyes with her surgery? I need
Oh,
for
I
y'all
don't
to
know.
tell me because
What?
Stormy's new picture looks like
Listen,
she has
too.
more of an Asian type eye now than she did
Oh,
before.
I don't.
Almost like what Cardi did to her face.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't. When I tell you the other people on the cast, I don't really go to their social medias and look at their pictures like that. So I don't even know. I saw Stormy's dress last night. I don't remember who posted it, and I was like,
Courtney,
I saw it, and I was, yes, it was in Courtney's in one of her chats, and I was like, is it nice to say that she looks like Betty because I don't have anything nice to say? And our parents told us, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it. So I was like, the nicest thing I could say is she looks like Betty, but is that actually nice?
Hey Hey said it could be the makeup, and for some reason, it
Yeah, it
seems like
probably
it was
is.
more than just. It just seems like it was more than just the makeup. She seemed like her eyes had really slanted, almost like once Cardi B had finished some
Doing all
facial,
the surgery and stuff.
Yes, and it
Well,
was
I don't know, child. We know that she did do some facial surgeries and stuff. I don't know if you can. Well, probably you can get like your eyes like maybe pulled back a little bit or something. I don't know.
I was just wondering because the only slanted eyes I've seen on the show is Miss Vans and Males.
Oh,
I'm just gonna put it out there. And
you
I thought
thought
it was
Mel's
just
eyes is a little bit slanted?
oh
I
yeah,
never really noticed that.
Yes, Mel has those little Chinese eyes.
I've never noticed that, honestly.
And if you look at Stormy old picture and the one of her in that green dress, her
Right.
eyes are really slanted now. And I think she may have had some slight surgery on that. But I want to ask you something about,
Yeah.
do you think that Arion was sounding a whole lot like Wandalicious about the hair thing and how her hair is so long and pretty and how her hair is so natural and how Martel didn't want her to wear wigs and all of this? Because that seemed like that was the only feature. At least Tisha's pretty,
It's
but with
okay for
her,
you to have long hair, but if it's not healthy long hair, then I don't know why we need to applaud you for having long hair. Her hair is not healthy. You can literally, watching her live, you can see there's a whole bunch of split dry ends, and that's not even me being shady. It's just the facts. There's a lot that she can do with her hair. Her hair needs to be looking silky, moisturized. It's
uh-huh,
okay to clip up the ends and allow your hair to grow out. When you clip off the dead ends, then it allows your hair to grow out, stronger and even longer. But she's not doing that because there's a lot of people with long hair. I've witnessed this myself. You have a lot of people with long hair who don't like to cut their hair
right,
because they are attached to the length. I've
okay,
seen this so many times, and my mother-in-law is a hairdresser, and she'll tell y'all there are people who will come into her salon who will refuse to clip the dead ends off of their hair because they want to be able to say, I got 24 inches on my head.
right,
Girl, you got
right,
24 inches of dead ends. And all that's
right,
going to do is continue to, you know, eat your hair off when you could have cut it and allowed your hair to grow back even more luscious. So I feel like
right,
Arion's one of those people. She's attached to being able to say, my hair is long, but is it healthy?
right.
It
I
does
just
not look healthy.
she looks I just this rolling out, and I'm sorry, I just have to say it. She was a mess. I can't believe she had on those shoes from 10 years ago, maybe 7 years
Girl.
ago.
And the
I
same
can't
bag.
believe she had that
Cars like she
bag.
don't got no other bag.
I can't believe that he didn't care enough about her to ensure that she looked a certain way, but he only it's just that the fact that he allowed her to go to this elitist event looking the way she did showed me that he doesn't really care about her. And also Nail High C. We saw the
Uh,
video, we saw the handshake.
she was
I don't think
cheesing.
Nail
She
knew.
was cheesing too much for me.
Look,
She
Nell
was
had that
cheesing too
drink in
much for
her
me.
hand, so I think Nell was probably three sheets to the wind by the time that she was introduced to her. But
Oh
I
my
don't.
god.
I think Nell realized she made a huge faux pas as far as trying to be in reality TV
Yeah.
because
This
ain't
is
no
how
way in
I
the
see
world.
it. This is how I
Mm-mm.
see it too. When it came to that interaction between Coleslaw and Nell Fletcher, I feel like you have to be cordial, especially you're at a classy event and whatnot. It's okay to be cordial. Martel is still their friend, obviously. This girl is, still in Martel's life. If this was their first introduction, which I doubt it, because all these people live in Huntsville. But if this was their first introduction, it's okay to say hello, give the tip of your hand if you feel like it for a handshake, and then go about your business. For me and my house, though, it would have been a cold shoulder. It would have been a very basic
Right.
hello.
I would have been walking backwards.
And I said,
Uh-uh.
in a few chats that I would have probably been ignoring Martel the whole time,
I would have to.
because obviously there's cameras there and people are going to run with whatever narrative they want to run with, and I don't want to be seen being chummy with no coleslaw, not after how much disrespect she has handed out to my friend
Right.
you
And I
know
thought it was weird that the publicist, when she was giving out all the information regarding who was there at the event and all of that other
hmm
stuff, she never mentioned Nell,
coleslaw.
nor did she mention Chris Fletcher.
She
But
didn't
she
even
showed
mention
the pictures.
coleslaw's name either.
Nope, she did not. So it was very calculated. It was really, really calculated. And that right there, it was like something went off in my head and everything.
I
This
feel
was
like I feel like that moment was pretty short. Nell Fletcher was trying to be cordial and gracious, and it was probably a quick hi and bye. But you know how pictures are, right? It's
right,
not going to look like it was as quick as it was.
right, right.
That picture is gonna make it look like that handshake lasted for about an hour, because that's what it looks like.
And they were gripping. It was a firm
Right?
handshake.
That
And
smile, that smile probably was a quick hi and it was gone. But when you capture it in a picture, it looks like the smile was on your face the whole time. The handshake lasted for an hour. The pictures are gonna tell the full story. She probably said hello for a minute and then walked away from them. But now in
I
our minds, it feels like, nah, she was at the event hanging out with Coleslaw, having conversations with her. And probably that's actually what happened. Who knows?
that drink, she didn't have a wine glass or champagne glass in her hand. She had some type of glass. I can't remember what they
Yeah, she
call
was
it.
she had a drink cup in
She was
her
drinking hard
hand.
liquor. And I have a question. Didn't I hear somewhere where Nell said that she doesn't whatever she said with side
With
chicks?
side chicks. Oh, I don't remember her saying that. She probably did. I feel like this
Okay,
the whole situation though too is just it's so nuanced, where we obviously can't feel like these people are not going to interact with this girl if Martel keeps bringing her around. You know what I mean?
right.
It's gonna be hard for them not to interact with her. I think seeing it
No,
in
it's not
in
hard.
real life,
You just don't do it. And if he
yeah, I
gets
think
mad, they just have to tell him, we just don't want to be around her. Cause she cheat. Well, no, we don't no. That's where a wife stands back and said, "No, I'm not with this." Now, you and him, y'all can still be friends, but don't bring her around
Yeah,
me.
don't bring her
'Cause I
around me.
don't bring her
And
around me.
you can give somebody such a lukewarm welcome that they feel like, yeah, I don't even want to be around your friends or your associates, Martel, because they obviously don't like me. Or I don't want to be around your friends when their wives are around because their wives obviously don't like me, and when I'm around them they make me feel uncomfortable. Like, that's some of the things that Ariane should be saying. She shouldn't feel like, oh my God, I can actually hang around these people because they really like me. And I feel like when you're cheesing it up and stretching out your hands, and making somebody feel comfortable in your presence, then they're going to stick around forever. And then it becomes a question of your loyalty.
Correct.
Because
Co-
my friend, if I have a mutual friend who's going through a divorce and that man is bringing the former mistress around the friend group, that girl is going to be begging him to not bring her around me. Because every time she's in my presence, she's going to feel a cold shoulder.
Absolutely.
And my
Absolutely.
and my ignore game is super strong. You'll sit beside me and I will make you feel like you are invisible.
I'm a Pisces. I forget your name. And I'll be we could have been friends 6 months ago, and I'll put it in my mind that I don't even remember your name because you
Oh
will
my
not be
God.
forgotten. Okay, Heisey, I just wanted to come up
Thank
here
you
and,
for coming
and talk
up.
to you.
Appreciate it so much.
Yes, and I enjoy your channel, and I love, love, love the fact that you be reaching out to folks, and baby, when they reach out, hey, speaking of reaching out to folks, did
Uh-huh.
Belinda did Belinda ever contact you again?
No, I feel that my questions were too on point. Based on
Okay,
information that I got, and I was asking her the questions based on the information that I received. And I think everything was too on the nail for her. Like, I wasn't trying to beat around the bush to trap her into answering the questions. I was asking her directly what was said to me. I was asking her questions based on those things. And I think that
okay.
they were just too on the money, where it would be hard for her to answer yes or no to the questions that I submitted. She would have to go into details, and I think that she doesn't want to. I don't know, maybe there's some legal stuff happening, and that is why she can't speak on certain things. I'm just assuming based on information that I have, because I feel like Martel finessed her out of some money. Based on information I got, I
Hey,
feel like
Glam,
Martel finessed her out of that land and house deal,
he
and
did.
there could possibly be some legal things in the work. Well, we know there's some legal things in the work when it comes to Martel allegedly scamming that couple in building their house. But
Right.
with Belinda, I think there's some legal things happening there which she probably cannot speak on. And
And
I
don't
was
forget about the
asking,
$60,000 with the
and,
other couple he was
and
adding a
I
room.
was and I was asking her some very direct questions, which again, if she would answer any of them, it would give away more than I think. Because I've read through the questions again, and I'm like, yeah, if you would answer any of these questions, it would probably give away more than you or Martel would
Because
want to
Martel
be
tried to
out
say
there.
that she was dating a friend. However, in 2000, wait a minute, was it 2002? 2002 on IMDb, it
Hmm.
listed Belinda as a cast member for for two separate episodes.
So who was she dating?
It had to be Martel
Oh my
because
God. She
that
was
would be
not
the
date
only way that
she
I
was
can
not
see.
she was not dating a friend. The information I got was they were not even allegedly, the person said they were dating, and that was evident in the fact that Sugar Mama and the other kids were up in her house when they should have been with their daddy on that
Right.
Mother's Day.
Right.
Now, I don't know any friend
And
who's
the bonus
dating,
mom comment. That's right.
dating another friend who is going to have my kids on Mother's Day with my kids all up on her social media. I'm just saying.
Why is it necessary for Martell to try and place everyone into the same spot as coleslaw in order to diminish who they are and their morals?
Because he knows that he is, I don't want to call that girl trash. That's not nice. But he knows that she's on a lower level. And in my opinion, he is sad that he couldn't elevate. He tried with Belinda, he tried with Shari, even though that was a business deal. And he still ends up every single time being back, frolicking around with coleslaw, because at this point in his life, that's the best that he can do. He's never going to find a woman that's on par with anything that Melody is doing unless he can elevate himself. And obviously, he can't elevate because he's not even done the builder's license yet.
So,
When, let me tell you something, the second Martel gets to a point where he feels like he has elevated or he's on the same playing field as Melody in terms of accomplishments, he is going to never, ever, ever, ever be seen with coleslaw.
so that means that he will have to find another woman who has
He
those things.
would
He
have.
had that woman in Belinda. I don't know why he messed it up. Because Candy said that he was tricking hard in Atlanta.
Belinda was supposed to be that girl for him.
Right.
She was supposed to be that girl. He was supposed to move on with Belinda, and she was supposed to be on the show. And guess what? That would have been more palatable as fans of the show, because guess what? Belinda hasn't done anything to Melody. That would have
Mhm.
been the safest choice for him. If he wanted to show his real life, if he wanted to show himself moving on with somebody who is educated, beautiful, has several businesses, Belinda, and could help to elevate his businesses, the choice the,
Right.
the choice should have been Belinda, and that's what it was supposed to be. But then somebody introduced him to Sheree, and he felt like Sheree was the better option. In my opinion, he felt like Sheree was the better option because of Sheree's fame being attached to Real Housewives of Atlanta. So he started to, kind of
Yeah, court
dismiss
her.
Belinda
Mm.
in a
I
way.
think, well, hold on, hold on. It was before Sheree, was it? Because
Yeah,
that's when,
Belinda was before Sheree.
okay, yeah, but remember when the content came out where
Mhm.
Dusty and the friend of Belinda's was messing with Martell, and that's when Belinda kicked both of them out the friend group
Of the friend
because they
group.
were both, and I think that's the reason why her reality show hasn't come out because
But she
all of
owns
them.
that. She owns that LLC. That's T right there. Belinda is the
Uh-huh.
one that owns the Dear Future Husband LLC. I know a lot of people thought that it was what's that man's name? Lamericus, whatever his name
Right,
is.
right,
People think that he owns it because he owns the Dear Future Wifey podcast brand, but
right.
Belinda owned or still owns um the Dear Future Husband brand or LLC, if you will. So she was serious about getting that reality TV show off the ground,
She
and
was.
allegedly allegedly it was going
Allegedly
to
what?
be it was going to be done through the
Alt
Holt
media.
Media Group.
That's right.
And Martell messed it up.
Oh, he messed up a bag again, y'all.
Yep.
Oh my God, if he eating the biggest Bobo, Bobo.
He had what's his face? What's that man's name that does the Dear Future Wifey part? Is his name Libericus? I can never remember his name. Libericus.
I don't. Whenever, ever since I saw Dusty on that, I
And
don't
I
even go over
actually
there.
like his podcast. He be having some people drop gems over there. I
Mm-mm.
think he allowed Destiny
He dropped some cold when he interviewed her,
to
and I
use
don't.
him
Mm-mm.
to spread lies, I think. And he lost some credibility for me when it came to that. But and again, this is like a little bit of tea for y'all. So as I
Mm-hmm.
said, she still owns it, the Dear Future Husband LLC.
Right,
There was going to be a reality TV show with women trying to find their future husbands.
right,
The show was going to be under Holt Media Group. They were
right,
pitching it. They had Lamericus Lamericus or whatever his name is, because his platform is huge. That man's Dear Future Wifey podcast brand is huge. So he was going
right.
to allegedly help them in pitching and promoting this reality TV show. And it would have been a win. But once again, Martel couldn't completely drop coleslaw for whatever reason, and he still couldn't keep his dingaling in his pants to just focus on what's her face, Belinda, and the plans that she had for both of them. So now that's on ice, and Belinda isn't friends with some of them girls that were going to be a part of it. So I don't know if that's ever gonna see the light of day, but
This
yeah.
was when this. Oh wow. So that's right. It was going through whole media. Belinda, when she found out, because it was Queen who dropped the tea to Belinda, because she
Mhm.
called Belinda's name out about him screwing with the friend. It was the one in the white. Y'all have to go back and look at the old videos. But
Mhm.
the Hope Media Group, so that failed. The property failed.
Yep.
Island Girl said that Belinda didn't choose him because she thought he was a bum, and a bunch of us is in here saying I think Belinda was really digging Martell.
She did. She liked him.
She was really digging him.
She felt like she could revamp his image, because in Atlanta, Belinda is a socialite.
Right.
We might not know of her, but or a lot of, well, now I know, who Belinda is in terms of business and education and stuff like that. She really has it going on for her. That woman is wealthy in her own right. Um, but a lot of people don't know that. So I feel like Belinda really felt like, with all the connections she had, with the money she had, she's also a beautiful woman, gorgeous, banging body. She felt like she could help to revamp
Yeah.
Martel's image. Whereas if people see both of them together, they would feel like Martel has a lot more going on for him than he actually does. She was trying to help him with that wine brand. If you go over there to Inest Wine, Belinda is right there, you know,
Right.
front page reviewing the wine with her picture up there, fully endorsing it. So
Right.
she was really trying to, I think, step into the role of, I can be Mrs. Holt, because when it comes to ambition, when it comes to business acumen, she is up there
Right.
with
Right.
Melody. Sheree
She is.
isn't.
Right.
Sheree
Listen,
isn't.
let me ask you
But
this
Belinda
then.
is. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. Do you think you remember when Sonny said that at um the Inest tasting, the one in
Mm-hmm.
Huntsville, that there was going to be an ambush had Melody come? Now that's one of the episodes too that Belinda is
I
listed as a
think
cast member.
I don't think that. what's her face, Belinda was going to be participating in that ambush. I think that those were Destiny's people, in my opinion. I think those were Destiny's people, or people who actually feel like, I don't even feel like they were people who feel like Melody even did them wrong. I think it was like how Destiny brought her cousin to Stormy's backyard party. Remember that?
Right.
I think it was a situation like that where Destiny brought her people, whether it's her family, whether it's her friends, and she thought that there was going to be some back and forth between her and Melody, and her friends were going to jump in, and it was going to
So
be a tag team. That's what I think.
the ones that, if I remember correctly, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch that episode.
Mm-hmm.
When Destiny was sitting at the table, because she was sitting at the table, Belinda was there, Platinum Hair was there, um, and two more of the ones that was with that group was there. Unless
Mm-hmm.
unless her friends and whatever somewhere else. But I really think it was that friend group
Because my
that was
question would be like, what, when it comes
to
to
introduce her.
specifically Belinda, it would be like,
Yes,
but
to
what
introduce
issue
Belinda
would she
as his
have?
woman.
Well, I guess not. For
Because she was
me, if
already at Madani. She was already chasing after them
yeah.
until and now she was at the wine tasting. Then I
So
saw her
what
again.
do
She
you
was in the one in
think?
Atlanta and the
Do you
one in
think it would have
Huntsville.
been? Do you think it would have been a case of like, Martel's following behind you, but he's not telling you that he's with Belinda? Like, do you think that it would have been kind of like that? Because I'm not seeing how like what Belinda would need to have against Melody to be attacking her on behalf of
I don't
Destiny.
think it would have been an attack, just an introduction
Just an
as his woman.
introduction. Well, that would have been cute, in my opinion. That would have been cute. I feel like in during that period before, there was this breakdown again in the co-parenting situation because of Martel's actions, he should have introduced Belinda as his woman, because she is a neutral party. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? She's somebody that hasn't done anything to Melody, hasn't been disrespectful, wasn't the reason for the marriage ending. So that would have been more palatable. Like, wow, you have moved on with a decent human being.
Right.
We can dig it. And now we can see your life as a man who's moved on, Melody's moved on, and now y'all are co-parenting together, and the kids have, this,
It would have been the
woman.
perfect
Yeah,
blended
it would
family.
have
She
been.
had 6 kids of her own.
Yeah, it would have been perfect. It would have been a perfect
Hmm.
storyline of watching Martell and Melody co-parenting while Martell is dating somebody who had nothing at all to do with the demise of his marriage.
Right.
And I feel like Melody
Right.
and Belinda would have probably been cool, if the other
I
women
think so
don't
too.
didn't get into her ears, and she probably would have teamed up with them or whatever. But I feel like that would have
Because
been,
those grown women, that's
yeah, it would
those
have
two are
been
grown
on
women.
some, this is life. It happens. People get divorced. People have to move on. Sometimes the kids are gonna have a new stepmom. Sometimes the kids are gonna have a new
Right.
stepdad. But this is life after divorce. This is love and marriage, Huntsville, after all. That would have been a great storyline. But Martell
That would
once
have.
again
He
dropped
messed. He
dropped the
dropped the
ball.
ball. He did. And rather than blame the one constant right now that's been in his life for the past how many
Mhm.
years, he's reverted back to blaming his ex. That's who he's reverting to blaming her rather than
And I
taking
don't
the
think
accountability.
And I don't think that he was telling Arion that he was with Belinda. I don't think
Yeah,
he
Miss
was telling
Blade.
her that.
Miss Blade said Destiny and Belinda weren't real friends. Belinda was just another one of Martell bed partners that Destiny leashed off of. Remember,
I,
Destiny
and
is
I
the
feel
bottom
you,
bee.
Miss Blade.
She's the bottom bee. Whoever if she didn't provide the introduction to Belinda or whatever, because we know that Atlanta was her stomping grounds, then somehow, some way, he's gonna have her there as his friend in order to do that. Stormy the same way. Like real talk, the same way. And once she get in, she gets in, and she gonna stay there as long as she has something to gain from it. I wouldn't be surprised because Stormy hinted about having a reality show coming. And I've said this months ago. I can see it happening with everything that she has going on.
The
And
show
I won't be
Stormy should have
surprised.
been on, honestly, is Bell Collective.
What's that? Who?
The show Stormy should have been on is Bell Collective. That foolishness of she wasn't living in Mississippi, so that's why she couldn't be on the show. That to me was a cop out. They were not interested enough in Stormy to have her on Bell Collective. She has more connections to the people on Bell Collective than she does with the people on Love and Marriage Huntsville. If Carlos really wanted to make it work, they would have put her on Bell Collective. But what happened was Stormy found Melody, and Melody made it happen in terms of
Who?
getting her on reality TV. Stormy has wanted to be, Stormy acts like she didn't want to be on reality TV
She
for real,
does.
but she
Because
did.
if she didn't, she would be saying that she may be getting her own reality TV
Yeah,
program. And
she
I
did.
and I wouldn't be surprised with them possibly moving to LA with her in her TikTok, her and the surrogacy thing that she has going on with trying to have another child and infertility or whatever issues. That right there is a whole storyline, but she's gonna have to have a supporting cast. So who better as a supporting cast than her bestie right now, Dusty, who all the
Mhm.
rumors, because I don't know why all of a sudden the rumors are coming out saying that Weather Girl is the one who said that she used to dip and dab on the other side of the fence before she got married. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So all of a
I
sudden
don't
that is
know. I
coming
don't.
out.
Stormy doesn't give when it comes to
She is
reality.
boring.
When it comes
Oh,
to
I'm sorry.
reality TV, she doesn't give like main character energy. She, and I could be wrong. She could prove us wrong if she does get um
I mean, she can get one.
she can, but can she carry? Like, I don't know. I
Can
don't
she
see
carry one? She
even
would
the
have to have
little.
the right. She would have the right supporting cast, and guess who been
Yeah.
her supporting cast ever since she been since Kyle got her back on a good foot. It's
I mean,
been named the Fletchers.
that little snippet of the issues in her family, that is what
Mm-mm.
she should have come back to, that season when she came talking about, issues with Melody. That should have been her focus, because that in and of itself was good, but it wasn't good because of Stormy. It was good because Betty proved that she's an evil human being, and
Right.
the sister wasn't having it. So even that in and of itself, it wasn't Stormy that made that storyline interesting. It was the
I think
mama and the auntie. So
right.
again, Stormy, even in her own personal storyline, does not give main character energy, honestly.
Mm-mm. But guess who she's gonna bring with her as supporting cast? She's gonna bring the Fletchers. She's gonna bring
Dusty.
Dusty. And we'll probably see a crossover where Latrice and
Mhm.
Latrice, what's her name? She got Latrice, my middle name.
Let's yeah.
Her a crossover with Bell Collective.
I
That's
don't
that's what
see
I
it. I
see.
can't I can't see Stormy on doing a reality TV show by
He
herself.
said it may not be love and marriage. It may be a family empire. A
Type
family
show. I,
empire.
I don't see it. I
Yeah, I
can't
don't see it.
even I can't even pick out the what like the storylines would be. Like, for Melody,
Just gave you the storyline.
I
They
can
moved.
literally see I can literally see Melody's storylines play out if she was supposed to do a reality TV show by herself. It's going to be following this mompreneur as she navigates motherhood and entrepreneurship, dating, after divorce. Like, I can literally write the synopsis for Melody's solo project. I can't write a synopsis for Stormy's. Like, I don't see, and it's not dislike for her. It's like I'm actually thinking like, what would it be? Okay, following the Canvas Beauty brand and the viral body glaze. Okay, but then what next? Like, I don't just want to watch a show featured where body glaze is the only business,
Look, it's about to listen.
you know?
Stormy, it's about to happen. I can see it happening, y'all. I can see it happening because I see more now. The stuff that I do see with Dusty is more of her out and about and
Hmm.
outside, and with Stormy. We done saw Sherelle, we know Dusty digging Sherelle. She gave her a lap dance.
I'm done.
No, we saw that. Shout out to T Top.
I think they're
So
interested. I think right now,
that's the whole storyline. That's gonna
Own
be
is
that's the
probably
whole storyline.
interested Owen is probably interested in Stormy because of the success with the body glaze on TikTok. And I've been clocking that for a while now, because when you go to Owen's Twitter, or you go to their YouTube page, they post Stormy a lot, which is why I think that they felt like Carlos doing this little, I don't know what it is. Owen probably said, okay, we're gonna allow you to do it, but we want you to pick Stormy. Because they want to see if she can carry numbers by herself. But unfortunately for Stormy, Melody has a TikTok live tonight.
True.
So all it's
Everyone
gonna
keeps saying that
prove
she's
is,
boring,
yeah,
and I'm dying laughing.
I saw that. I saw Love Key say it. Ah, shoot.
Glam
Even
Rock
even the
said it.
little clip, even the little clip
Sharon
too.
J said it a few times.
I'm done with y'all. Give me y'all's phones. Put them in the
But
box right now.
I'm
Because
saying, everyone, open your mind for a moment and just
I'm
imagine
trying to. I can't see it.
the beginning of the season. One of the first conversations that we heard Courtney and Stormy talk about was when they were moving to LA. To me, that was the first hint. With the right supporting cast, with the right supporting cast, she may be able to, if she at Love and Marriage Huntsville, she was trying to fit into a mold that was already set. But if she
Okay.
do her own thing, she could be that NBA Stormy, that wild girl, the one who get high, do her drinking, party, and do all this other stuff that she does.
I
And
still
she can
can't
be
see it.
herself.
I'm
And
I'm I'm very
that would
I'm very
appeal to
open
the
minded, and I can't see it. I can't see it. I'm not entertained by the possibility. Like, no. Maybe it's because I don't know the people. I don't know the people around Stormy either. Like, Lauren is a vibe. Miss Deborah is a vibe. Jay Taylor is a vibe. You know? And so I can see them as like part of Melody's supporting cast, and it's going to be fun and entertaining. But I don't know the people around Stormy enough to be able to say Destiny is dry. Like, let's be clear, Destiny is dry. So her potentially
but
even being like a
but Destiny is
co-star
gonna
is
Destiny's
like
just gonna come on out the closet. She's
is
gonna come
like
out the closet. Tea Time Tug said, bless your heart. But that's too much to ask for people to think
I
about watching
cannot
Stormy.
even Tisha and Marsau, I could write a synopsis for their storyline. And here's the synopsis for their storyline. Um the Scots navigating misogyny,
Right?
and all of that. We can watch Tisha finally get out of her shell and put Marsau in his place. We can watch as Tisha, not Tisha, child, Tisha. We can watch as Tisha shows that she's actually a good businesswoman if the husband would step out of the way and allow her
We
to
don't want to see
actually
that.
run
We don't want to see that.
scold. What else
We
could
don't want
we
to see them
see?
fighting about
We
parking
could
lot in one bathroom
we could
building.
see we could see Tisha and what's her face, Wanda, go
Mm-mm.
into counseling and talk about how horrible of a mother
Oh no, we definitely
Wanda
don't want
has
to see that.
been. Um,
No,
but even talking
no.
about this, it's still not entertaining to me. Like I'm thinking about, okay, so where would the funny parts be? Marsaw is funny, but he's not funny with Tisha. He's funny when he's in a scene with Melody. You know what I mean?
I,
So
I, I
that's still
guess.
not even entertaining. Talking like, and I know people are gonna listen to this and they're gonna say, "Oh, y'all are hating," but like honestly, like I can't see any of these people having a spin-off. What are we gonna be watching?
But money talk,
What are we gonna be watching? We're gonna
and I
watch
think the money
Melody
don't talk.
as she gets a call from Jay Bolin saying, I have a new collab that I want you to fly out to Texas. We're gonna see Melody get ready, go to Texas. We're gonna watch her as she does the shoot. Then she has connections with Hill Harper. She's gonna fly out there to where's Hill Harper from again? Michigan.
Michigan.
She's gonna
Mm-hmm.
fly out there to Michigan, see what he got going on. We're gonna have Hill Harper on the show, inviting Melody to to do a speaking engagement or something. What else we got? Um, her property preservation classes. We're gonna be introduced to her students. We're gonna see from start to finish how her students, did the class and now they're making money. Oh, child. We're gonna see her in the studio
I
working
see
on music.
Braden's backstage.
Uh, we're gonna see her in the studio working on music. There is so much to follow in Melody's life
Hey, hey,
that
hey,
I
good
would be
people.
entertained by.
Hey,
Hey,
Braylon.
Braylon.
Hey, how's it going?
What you
How's it going?
what you coming up? You coming up here to be messy first thing in the morning.
No, not at all.
he's
Not at
he's
all.
coming up
You
here to bother his big sis.
no, no, no,
Look,
no. I wanted to come up to say hi to everybody. You might want to get that disease of ignorance out your chat named Bobo Anderson because he ain't doing shit for nobody.
why you
Um,
Oh, he's
but
been
no,
in the chat. Like when I tell you,
um
yes,
I apologize
yes,
to everybody who has been
yes. Just
succumbed to having to look at Bobo's comments. Where is he? I can't even find anything that
it's been a
he
while. It's been a while. But I was conversing with
oh
him
child.
earlier.
Like
why
listen,
would you
But
converse with ignorance, child? Stop it.
because I
I
believe
like
when
to
you
talk
give
to
them
the
attention, they shut
trolls.
up. And he shut up for a minute until I got up on the panel. He was real quiet for a good little while.
Well, child, listen.
I
Just
like
because
to
they
talk
quiet
to
don't
the
mean they still
trolls.
doesn't mean they're still
Okay?
not stupid, child. But anyway,
Somebody left a comment under one of my posts on my community wall saying, why would anybody listen to research from somebody who can't spell or formulate a sentence? And then when I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, there's a lot of typos in here. And so, you know what I did? I replied and I'm like, I am so thankful that you left this comment because if you didn't, then all these typos would have remained. That person
right.
has not responded since. Then somebody else this morning said, oh my God, I love Stormy so much. And she's gonna continue winning and making money. And you know what I did? I was like, yeah, I pray she continues to make a whole lot more money. And I pray that the other women on the cast get their money up too. Like I love doing that to the trolls because they want us to get in our feelings and curse them
Right.
out. But sometimes you got to kill them with kindness because she thought she ate when she said I couldn't spell. I was
You know
like,
what?
God dang it, I did
This
not
is
see these typos.
well, this is the thing, right? The ones that are the most idiotic never are bold enough to go off of their own channel because you gotta have intelligence to be able to hold your own channel, hold people's attention spans, this, that, and the third. I will say today is another good day, 6 hour
Right,
live coming.
Glam?
Um, right. I'm glad. But no, another 6 hour live coming up. And this is the thing, too, right? I really do feel that Melody will be leaving the show or the show is going to be canceled. Because listen, at the beginning, middle, and end of the day, what else do we need from this show? But also, too, when you have TikTok lives that are going to be 6 hours long, when you have property preservation, when you have Nubian TV, when you got your own beauty brand, when you got speaking engagements, when you're doing singing, this, that, and the third, and whatever else is to come, something's got to drop eventually. So, I know I'm kind of on my own island, like Glam is on her own island about the show ever being renewed. But I do believe that eventually this is going to move on to greener pastures because you're going to need more time to do better things. But that's just me.
I zoned out. I ain't
I'm
gonna lie.
done. Why
You
do you
know,
think
you
we're
know
gonna
what, too?
say
Love you too.
I'm sorry. What you say again?
You know what, too? Go to sleep. Damn.
Y'all, I was just speaking with Braylon, y'all. I'm just speaking with him. That's all.
I don't know, but Braylon, I know you've been on the mission to prove to everybody that the show is coming to an end. But I'm telling you, I don't think it's going to come to an end for right now. I think they're at the least going to get like two more seasons so that some of the storylines can be wrapped up
Oh, of course. I
in
mean, yeah.
in a better way. I don't think that probably how this season is going to end. I don't think that they would want to wrap the show up on that note. Um,
I can concede to that. I mean, listen,
Thank you.
even though I've been on my square with my five
Hmm.
statements, I also come from the world of media, as y'all know. So I do agree with you that you do have to let things breathe and play, and let things run its course, right? Um,
Yeah.
my stance is for the totality of the show to end. So I understand that there are things that need to be that there's some business that needs to be attended to before the show closes. So I probably haven't said that out loud before, but yes, I can concede to that. I'm reasonable, unlike Glamrox is, but that's neither here nor there. Love you,
I
Glam.
think that's too much. I think that's too much to ask for. Um, Coming from a Carlos King production, as you can see from the very first season, there's so many storylines and so many things that are just still hanging out there that's never been addressed if it hadn't been addressed on social media. And I just think that if the show ends, it's gonna do like they did DC. A couple of months gonna go by, then another couple of months, the next thing you know, boom, no show, and people will be wondering what's going on. Um, and that's just how I feel. I don't care. I know. I see. Those things sounded real good as far as Tisha and her mom and all these other things. But at this point, I don't care to know or want to hear or see anything about them because I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. They've been acting for a very long time, and they're just they just there's nothing. There's just nothing that interests me in them. And the Scots 1.0. I mean, he's the ultimate guy who's just going to be sassy with the women. Marceau's not even bringing it. Okay, so he had one good scene with Marquez, but even in that
Hmm.
scene, it was so chopped up. It just
It
made
was.
Marceau look good and wise, which it didn't, because who is Marceau to even talk to that dude? You know what I'm saying? And this whole Ken thing, the fact that he's still talking about he's a baby daddy, worst nightmare. Dude, no one cares about y'all. Is she divorced? That's all that matters.
No,
There's
correct, and
nothing.
she's not.
But
She's
she's
not.
not divorced.
I don't even feel like the reunion should have been shot yet. I think they should have at least waited for um the
A
season to come
resolution.
back. Not for the
And
season
this
to
court
be
case.
completed, but wait at least for like a couple of episodes in part B to come back so that some of the social media things can happen and then do the reunion. I feel like the reunion happening right now is crazy work.
No,
And
for
and
sure. And
Kay Hayes
no,
said that the network isn't promoting new shows, so it'll probably keep getting renewed. And we have to remember what Winter Womanland, shout out to her, said that it's not just about ratings; it's also about the time slot.
Yes.
and contract for that time slot. So as long as they can continue to produce something to put in that time slot, it probably will be renewed. It just won't be enjoyable, and
Right.
that's just what it is.
And and Glam, I see your comment. Will you apologize? You will have to apologize to me when the show is renewed on live. And here's the thing. I remember saying to two, and two, you will vouch for me. I know you won't. I know you won't check out of this because it's about you. I said to you two and to Glam that if the show is renewed, I will be on Glam's live and say I was wrong. But that's the only time that you are ever going to get that. So if your audio cuts out when I say it, I am not saying it again after that. You're just going to have to go back to the
Not
replay.
if your audio cuts out.
Hey, listen. It is what I am putting so many loopholes in this how I see a TV. Because I don't want to hear it. I don't know. So I'm
I think
conceding that, and
I
that's
think
it.
the
It's
show
going to
will
be renewed.
continue, but I don't
It's going
think
to be
I
renewed.
think
It's
Mel may be
owns
doing
cash
something
cow.
else.
It's owns cash cow. It's the show that makes them the most money. It's the show that's talked about the most. So they have no choice. They have
I
to
think
work
Mel will
with
do
it.
something else. High C.
Yeah, I
I,
think
I'm
they have to work with Love and Marriage Huntsville because right now, like honestly, like for example, what's that show called? Am I the
What
one that
Ray to
missed it?
Love, Never Ever Met.
No. Real Housewives of Potomac. They
Yes.
had to get rid of Robin. They had to. Well, my girl Candace said, "Listen, I'm about to have a baby, so I must be out of it, for a little bit." And I think when it comes to like Love and Marriage Huntsville, and when we compare it to like the Real Housewives, where did Toot go?
She
And we
might have took
compare
off
it,
on accident.
it's like why has Love and Marriage Huntsville not fired any of the core of
Hmm.
the cast in 8 seasons when some of the core members haven't been bringing it?
Right.
When you look at the Real Housewives franchise, if you don't bring it for a season, you're out. You might get
Yeah.
another season, but eventually they're gonna fire you and they're gonna recast and they're gonna bring somebody else in.
And we saw that with NECA and the Shrine thing, and she got
Uh,
fired that season. And with Drew Sidora and unverifiable cousin Courtney, you know, they don't play. And listen, coming from a media point of view,
mhm.
I understand what you're saying, right? It is the cash cow. However, in the same token, when it comes to you making it onto cable television, whether it's BET, OWN, Bravo, what have you, the network
Mhm.
never wants the star to be bigger than the network because the network always wants to be in control. But when the
Yeah.
power imbalance happens of the star being bigger than the network, then you lose that control. And I think what's happening here with OWN is that I think Love and Marriage Huntsville is becoming bigger than OWN. And the gag is that
I
Love and
mean,
Marriage Huntsville is
the real
OWN.
show is on YouTube.
No, yeah, absolutely, I agree with you, beautiful. But no, like I was saying that Love and Marriage Huntsville needs OWN more than OWN needs Love and Marriage Huntsville because even though the Oprah Winfrey Network is not what it used to be, because originally it was supposed to be the Oprah Winfrey Show 24/7 in a variety of programs. Um, I've said this for a while that OWN, I believe, is going through a transition. Those OWN spotlights that y'all have been seeing, like the Time of Essence and the Rebuilding Black Wall Street, those have been tests for limited series on OWN. The Never Ever Met and Ready to Love, those have been some. Ready to Love is about to be on its 10th season. The Never Ever Met's got season 2 renewal. Then you have First Times Buyers Club. So I do believe that OWN has some room to be a new entity. But if they keep allowing the show to be bigger than the network, then they'll be known by a show and not by the entirety of who they are as a
I get,
network.
and I get what you're saying. I feel like Love and Marriage Huntsville at this point in time is a network all on its own. With how
Yes,
much goes on with the show and the cast, it is a network all on its own.
agreed.
They could literally go and say Love and Marriage Huntsville TV at this point in time. And a lot of us would be watching it because if they had a camera,
Yeah.
if they had a camera on the cast 24/7 following their lives, just streaming it, and a lot of us
Mhm.
could watch, we would, and probably we would not be as entertained because we're seeing everything. I think for right now, the reason why a lot of people talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville so much is because the bulk of the cast, they hide so much of their life. And guess what? They have the right to not share everything. They absolutely have that
Right.
right.
Absolutely.
But when you're not sharing everything and you're lying blatantly about certain things, and
Mhm.
those things are public record, and people are watching the show and they're spotting the lies, is why the show on YouTube is more entertaining, because it's like, oh, you're saying on the show that the millimeters are doing this, but on social media, we're finding out that it's actually the church, it's actually the funeral home, it's actually the businesses next door, and it has nothing to do with the millimeters. And then they get mad that the YouTubers are pointing that out. When if you had
Correct.
just stood on business and told the truth in the first place, that it was the church, he could have looked in the Love and Marriage Huntsville camera and said, the church has a problem with us because of an event that we did last year.
Yeah.
That would have been
No,
fine.
no, absolutely. Most of the time, and you're very right in your assessment how I see a TV. Most of the time, social media has become, um, like you said about Love and Marriage Huntsville, a network all on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Social media for most reality TV shows should be like a second screen. It's just like American Idol. When it first came out, they had texting at idol 001, texting through AT&T and going to fox.com. Social media was a second screen to be able for you to engage with the show.
Yeah.
But when social media is the main source, not a resource for your reality show, that's when it's a hindrance. Because social media should not be the source of how a show lives on TV. It should be a resource to complement the content that's on TV.
And I agree with you, little Paulette. It's because we are so like I want to say inundated with things happening in this sector, but I guess that's, for want of a better word, I'm gonna use inundated. A lot of us, because we are fans of Melody specifically, we consume a lot of Love and Marriage Huntsville content, and we are following the story from start to finish. Whereas if we weren't following the story so closely, then all we would know honestly is what's happening on the show and nothing else. And there's a lot of people like that out there who they are fans of Melody, but they don't know anything else that's going on with Melody. They are fans of Love and Marriage Huntsville, but if it didn't happen on the show, they have no clue about what's going on.
Right.
You know? And so I can agree with you, little Paulette. It's the same thing for me when it comes to Married to Medicine. I don't just follow the show. I follow Dr. Hellish's Instagram and YouTube and Patreon antics. I see some of the comments that Quad makes, underneath people's posts. I
Hello?
1 second, y'all. 1 second.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah, I follow, and I always tell people that majority of the truth when it comes to some of these reality TV shows is not going to be on the show. the truth is in the interviews that these people do. If you want to really know how they feel about each other, watch their interviews. If you want to know how they feel about each other, you got to watch what they say when they click live and go on Instagram live or TikTok live. If you really want to know how they feel about what's happening on the show, look for those subliminal posts over there on Twitter or in their Instagram story, and that gives you the whole picture, because reality TV is not ever going to give you the whole truth. The purpose of reality TV is to take a 5 hour long filming session and break that down into 10 minutes.
Correct.
It's impossible to really know what's going on in any of these people's lives if you're just following the show. So
Yeah.
when I talk about reality TV, I literally only talk about the shows that I follow, not just through episodes, but because I'm in tune with what these people are doing on social media. So when I defend Melody, I know that I'm standing on the truth because I've seen the interviews, I've seen the social media posts, I've listened to the court documents being read. Uh, Tasha K can't tell me anything. She can't tell me anything because one, she's operating off of hate, and then two, she's operating off what other people are telling her about the show and the cast members, and not based on things that she's
Right.
observing for herself. You know.
Hmm.
So thank you all. I'm about
Yeah.
to end.
No, full.
Ooh, I've been on here for 2 hours, child.
No, I'm glad I got to come up here. I'm glad I got to come up here for a little bit and listen. I am for always what is right. I know that me and Glam Rocks, and some of
I
you
agree with
that
you, Nikki.
believe the show should be or yeah, no, and Nikki, I definitely agree with you. For those of you who believe the show should be recasted or renewed, I've come to realize this a long time ago with how I move with my commentary in media. A lot of times when I speak from that media point of view, not everybody's in media, so I get that. But I think at this point, it's such a precipice. It's all Love Mary Trunsville is almost like that zit on your face that is it starts to be yellow pus,
Oh
but
my
the more
god.
you don't attend to it, it becomes black pus.
No.
And all I'm saying is
Oh my god.
this zit needs to be popped. That is all I am saying. So please believe me, I'm about to be in that
You know
TikTok
what
live
I
with y'all. So
always
I'm
say,
always on Team Melody,
Braylon,
but
you
I'm
know what
more
I
about
always
her being
say?
okay with
I
her show
say
being okay.
that Love and Marriage Huntsville is like it is like an accident that you see it happening and you just cannot look away.
Yes. Yeah. That part too.
But you
Yes.
need to, and you need to see it so that when the police come, you are there to say, I witnessed, I saw everything that was
Mm-hmm.
happening, I couldn't look away, so I can tell you who caused the accident, what happened from start to finish. And that's what Love and Marriage
Yes.
Huntsville is for me. It is an accident. I'm on the sidewalk and I'm seeing a car coming at full speed and it's about to hit the other car, and there's
Yes.
nothing I can do to stop it. But all I can do is be
Right.
there as a witness for when the police come to find out what happened.
Absolutely. And love Key. Listen, I know that was a gross metaphor, but at least you got it though. Because guess what?
It
That's what love to me. I
was a
think Love
gross
Marriage
metaphor.
Huntsville, it's getting that way. This start out is just, oh, it's on your face, and your body goes through changes and stuff, and then as the season started growing,
You gotta
it was
go
like,
to
okay,
doctor.
this is
Oh,
getting
love,
better,
love, key. That means
and you
you
ain't
do
doing
not
good
watch.
skincare on it, and there you go. Say that again.
I was saying to Love, love, key that that means she does not watch Doctor Pimple Popper. I
No.
love Doctor Pimple Popper.
Yes.
Okay, what Braylon just described has nothing on the work that Dr. Pimple Popper does.
Child. Listen.
And I will sit and watch clips and clips and clips and clips of Dr. Pimple Popper like it's a movie and thoroughly enjoy it. Love, love, key. Get into Dr. Pimple Popper, love, love, key. I promise you, you will be entertained. You cannot look away. You cannot look away. That's how disgusting it is. You can't take
That
your
is true.
eyes off of it. All right, y'all. Ooh, yeah, she said, yeah, no, I cannot watch things like that.
Yes, indeed. Well, I love you, High CTV. Love you, chat. I will see y'all
Thank you,
at three
Braylon, for
thirty.
coming up. Thank you too. Thanks to
No
everybody that
problem.
was in the yard chatting with me. Remember, y'all, 2:30. 2:30. We need to be over there on TikTok. Melody Cherie 11. Get your cards ready. Get your fingers ready. We're gonna be in there tap tap tapping the screen. Even if you don't got money, you still need to be in there engaging, chatting with Melody, asking about the products, bigging up the products, sharing the live. Make them know that when we say millimeters activate, it's not on nothing negative. It's always about Melody and her business and the good things that she has going on. So I will see y'all in the TikTok streets, and I'll also see y'all in these YouTube streets. Until then, Love Love Key says 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. So it's 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. So that's LA time. 2:30 Central Standard Time. So that's the people like me who are in Florida. And then Eastern Standard Time is 3:30. So those are the time frames. So figure out what time zone y'all are in. I know that I am in Central Standard Time, so I need to be in that live at 2:30. Okay? So see y'all then. Walk good, y'all. Bye.